George Lazenby is 86 years old in 2026. For a brief moment, he was James Bond, and even a short moment can last a lifetime when it becomes iconic. Michael Caine is 92, a career built on restraint, intelligence, and timing. Ian McKellen is 86. His authority was never physical. It came from voice, posture, and patience. Dick Van Dyke reaches 100 years old, a full century of life. Very few people ever get to say that. Eva Marie Saint is 101. She isn't just remembered, she's history itself. Clint Eastwood is 95. From westerns to war stories, he didn't follow Hollywood, Hollywood followed him. Bruce Dern is 89, proof that the longest careers are often the quietest ones. Kim Novak is 92, an era when mystery mattered more than exposure. William Shatner is 94. He didn't just act in television history, he lived through its entire evolution. Sophia Loren is 90, elegance that never asked for permission to age. Barbara Eden is 93, forever remembered as timeless, even as time moves forward. Christopher Lloyd is 86, famous for playing with time, now sharing the same reality as everyone else. Jack Nicholson is 88, a face, a voice, a presence. Some performances never fade. Joan Collins is 92, longevity in an industry that rarely allows it. Rita Moreno is 93, talent that refused to stay in one decade. Shirley MacLaine is 91, unpredictable, outspoken, unforgettable. Mel Brooks is 99, almost a century of humor, and somehow it still works. Carol Burnett is 92, laughter that outlived trends and formats. Vanessa Redgrave is 88, a career built on depth, not noise. Chuck Norris is 85, once unstoppable, now legendary in a different way. Lee Majors is 86, a reminder of television's physical era. Morgan Freeman is 88, a voice that aged into authority, not silence. June Lockhart reaches 100 years old. Time doesn't often allow this kind of ending. Julie Andrews is 89, grace that never left the screen. Brigitte Bardot is 90, fame that arrived early and never fully left. Lee Grant reaches 100, a lifetime measured in impact, not speed. Judi Dench is 90, proof that relevance doesn't expire quietly. James Hong is 96, a career longer than most lifetimes, still remembered. Anthony Hopkins is 88, intensity that never softened. Dustin Hoffman is 87, a master of becoming someone else. Harrison Ford is 82, adventure eventually turns into legacy. Robert Duvall is 94, quiet power that never needed attention. Harvey Keitel is 86, grit that shaped realism. Elliot Gould is 86, a face forever tied to a generation. Al Pacino is 86 in 2026, a voice and intensity that defined generations. Time softened nothing. Gene Hackman is 96, a master of quiet dominance, gone from the spotlight, never forgotten. Robert Redford is 90, a symbol of Hollywood when it believed in stars. Donald Sutherland is 90, a presence that never needed explanation. James Earl Jones is 95, a voice that became larger than the screen. Even silence remembers it. Michael Douglas is 82, success, survival, and staying power. Sylvester Stallone is 80, a career built on resilience, on screen and off. Danny DeVito is 82, proof that impact has nothing to do with size. Helen Mirren is 81, authority that aged into elegance. Robert De Niro is 83, a career built on intensity and an era that never really ended. Gene Wilder would have been 90, proof that warmth can outlast time. Clint Howard is 67, a face quietly woven through decades of film. Paul Newman would have been 101, style, substance, and restraint remembered. Sidney Poitier would have been 99, a barrier breaker whose impact still echoes. James Caan would have been 86, a presence that felt raw and real. Burt Reynolds would have been 90, charisma that defined a generation. Donald Pleasance would have been 107, a reminder of how far cinema has traveled. Max von Sydow would have been 97, depth that crossed languages and eras. Kirk Douglas would have been 110, longevity turned into legend. Charlton Heston would have been 102, a voice built for epic scale. Peter O'Toole would have been 94, intensity that never faded quietly. Omar Sharif would have been 94, global fame before global media. Richard Harris would have been 95, fire that never fully cooled. Alec Guinness would have been 112, a career remembered in silence and strength. Sean Connery would have been 96, an icon whose shadow remains. Christopher Plummer would have been 96, elegance that lasted a lifetime. Marlon Brando would have been 102, a presence that reshaped acting itself. Henry Fonda would have been 121, a reminder of Hollywood's earliest foundations. Katharine Hepburn would have been 119, independence before it was fashionable. Spencer Tracy would have been 126, subtlety that never asked for attention. Gregory Peck would have been 110, integrity turned into legacy. James Stewart would have been 118, everyday humanity remembered. Laurence Olivier would have been 119, the bridge between stage and screen. Humphrey Bogart would have been 127, cool that never needed explanation. Elizabeth Taylor would have been 94, fame magnified, talent undeniable. Robin Williams would have been 75, a reminder that brilliance can burn fast. Paul Walker would have been 53 in 2026, a reminder that time doesn't always move slowly.